Right. So, we're going to be talking as long and as necessary about this issue with crossplay until it gets sorted out. Right? Because I was talking to the Thinny via DMs on X, right? And I can't figure out why Mortal Kombat, not only just me, but a whole bunch of other people on PC, won't allow them to play crossplay. Right? I got some really wild theories. One of which I'm going to show, which I was thinking myself earlier, and it's crazy to see some people actually start to talk about this. I really hope this is not the case, because that would absolutely be false advertising, right? But I've tried everything, right? I have reduced all my graphics settings. Now I can get stable 60 frames at ultra level, right? And I don't even have upscaling on at all. I'm literally doing native 1080p, 60 frames all the way. I've got an i9 13900K, 32 gig of DDR5 RAM. I've got a 4090 RTX. Every game just gets spat out easily, right? Stable 60 frames. I pass the benchmark constantly. Like I'm passing the benchmark constantly, right? The problem is though, is that when you then go into the online part to play in either casual or ranked, it brings up that warning message saying, no, there's some unforeseen problem, some unknown issue. Something is suboptimal with your settings or your system, in fact. Now, the way I sort of like, I sort of like self-taught, like I guess a lot of people are when it comes to PC to a degree, self-taught to diagnose issues, right? To try and figure out what's actually going on, yeah? So I think to myself, okay, I verified the files are fine. What's left? I don't have any failing hardware, right? That shouldn't be it at all, okay? So something's wrong. Now, I don't have the game installed on an SSD, but there are people on the Steam forums that do have SSDs and they're experiencing the same issue, right? And diagnosing issues on a PC is all basically like, you know, sort of like ticking off each thing one at a time to reduce it down to a singular answer or maybe a couple of answers, even as crazy as they are. And one of those crazy answers I came across, which I was thinking myself, was, have they made this crossplay feature locked to systems that only have Mortal Kombat 11 installed? Oh, sorry, Windows 11, Mortal Kombat 11. Windows 11 installed, right? Now, when I was talking to Thinny, he gave me his setup files, which I put in. I replaced my game settings for MK12. That's what the file is like reference to, Mortal Kombat 12, game user settings or something like that. I replaced those with his settings, loaded the game up, ran a benchmark, nailed it, tried to get online, it didn't work. Now, I'd have to double check, but I don't know if he's actually running Windows 10. Let me just double check and see what he actually said. But I really hope they haven't made this much of a blunder. He says he's on Windows 10 too. He also said that, because I was trying to figure out, I showed him the screenshot. It says, due to non-optimal benchmark results, you will only be able to cross-play with console players via private matches. This doesn't exist on Tekken 8. This doesn't exist on Street Fighter 6. This doesn't exist on Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising and any other cross-play enabled game out there across any genre. It's not happening anywhere else except for Mortal Kombat 1, right? And it doesn't matter whether I use his setup files, sorry, like the config file. It doesn't matter if I'm lowering everything down to the lowest possible denominator. It's still doing the same thing. Even though I'm able to maintain and hold a steady 60 frames, it is still dropping out. His comment was, that is very weird, probably a bug, misreading your results, which is what I'm thinking as well. I said I was on Windows 10, he said he was on Windows 10 too. I asked if they had logs, right? So what happens for anyone that doesn't know on PC? So, like, a lot of the time, games, programs, Windows will save a log file, which is a result of why, say, for example, there's been a system crash, right? Or a rejection of something. Apparently, they removed the logs from this update. My comment was, LOL, gee, I wonder if that was for a reason. Because my head is going, okay, we need to see specifically what is being rejected here. What metric is being rejected? This system is so super sensitive that it is causing major issues with people being able to play crossplay. Oh, we've got crossplay enabled, but we can only do it privately, right? There is some issue in play here that when you try and access casual or ranked, it's going, nah, you're suboptimal. It's like, what are you talking about? My PC's high end. And even if it wasn't high end, I'm seeing other people's system, like their system specs. It shouldn't be doing this. I think he said he was going to look into it himself. Right? He was going to try and do something to force the game, because he apparently got in. Right? He ran the benchmark and then did it again, I think, and then got in there. Right? Now, this user's comment here, I have both Windows 10 and Windows 11 on my PC on separate drives. On Windows 10, I can get the prompt that I don't have the optimal settings, so I can't play ranked crossplay. But when on Windows 11, ranked crossplay against console players works. I get the prompt that I can play online crossplay. I should also note that the Windows 10 is a modded light version. Not sure if that's the issue though. The Windows 11 install is the official version from the website. I hope this helps somebody troubleshoot. Right. I got 60 frames installed on SSD. All type of super sampling. I already tried. Crossplay mode on. Active Warner Brothers account. Still got the message due to non-optimal benchmark, etc. Right. There is something fundamentally wrong with what they've done. Right. Another post. Is Crossplay only working on Windows 11? I was wondering if Crossplay only works on Windows 11 and not 10. I have a solid 60 FPS benchmark, installed the NVMe SSD, but it still says I don't have optimal settings. Yes, it's working. I got a match with a guy on PS5 with 146 ms Wi-Fi. The question was, can the people who do have crossplay working let me know if you are all on Windows 10 or 11? This kind of, either one, right? I'm assuming possibly he's saying no, it's working on Windows 10. So there is an issue here. There is an issue that needs to be resolved, right? They have got to fix this because they have been this mode that other fighting games has had working in beta with no benchmarking test to determine whether or not you're allowed to play online with the product you paid for. Let me repeat that. This company, NetherRealm, and Warner Brothers are determining whether or not you are allowed to play online with the product that you paid for. This is an absolute disgrace, right? It shouldn't be happening, not even a little bit. And every single person out there should be kicking up a stink, right? Now I can play, obviously, people both on Steam and Epic Games Store just fine. Now we have a warning error saying whether or not they're on a slow hard drive or not. But as you saw, it doesn't matter whether you're on an SSD or not. Now, there could be, see, this is the problem, and like my system can handle this obviously because I can install Windows 11, I just choose not to, right? There's no point. What happened was that they brought out Windows 11, they tied it to hardware. They made it so that they go, well, if you want Windows 11, you've got to have this certain specific, I believe it was either a BIOS or a CPU thing. That was some condition that had to be met that allowed Windows 11 to be installed on your system. It would check your hardware, and if you didn't have this, it wouldn't allow you to install it. Even though you could probably run the operating system just fine, it was an absolute lock because they were trying to force people to upgrade, right? And they obviously had deals in place with hardware manufacturers, so that way they would get a cut of sales because they were forcing people to upgrade to hardware that they probably didn't need in order to run Windows 11, right? That's a major issue I have. I really hope that this is not the same issue. That they aren't forcing people to upgrade their operating system purely just to access crossplay when Tekken 8 doesn't even, again, there's no benchmark, right? Like to even access online, you just log on, like you just get online. Same with Grand Blue, same as Street Fighter. Everything works perfectly. So what the hell is going on over at NetherRealm? And QLock, who are the people that ported the PC version, are you just going to sit around and say nothing? Are you not going to acknowledge this issue when people are already pointing this out? I've already got one video on this channel that's got over 1,000 views. I know it's not a lot, but it's enough to get the word out there. And the more and more people that come back, and they go, well, hang on a sec, why can't I just play casual? Why do it the only time I can play crossplay is if I have to set up an invite to a singular person? We can't even set up a room or a lobby or a King of the Hill. It's simply just, all right, I'll choose this person, fight a few rounds. All right, leave. Now I'm going to invite this person, fight a few rounds, leave. This is just archaic way of doing things, particularly when the competitors are doing it and doing it blindfolded. This issue needs to be addressed, right? There is no singular reason, unless you had a potato PC, why you couldn't do it. And even then, because it's PC, you can adjust your settings. And maybe that should be something that should be in there. So it's like, okay, well, we need to get you to this particular standard, but it's not telling you what the suboptimal issue is. It's not telling you whether or not, oh, you've got more than one monitor active. So therefore, that's one thing I might try actually. I don't think it will matter, but I will try it because you never know. With PC, it can be absolutely anything. What the hell have these people been doing? It needs to get sorted out because we paid for it and it needs to be there. And we know, and before you go, oh, well, it wasn't there on launch. No. It was advertised on the Steam page. We've got videos about it. It was advertised on the Steam page and they took it away. Now I'm starting to figure out why. Everything that this company seems to be doing seems to utterly just want to tank Mortal Kombat 1. And I'm not against that, actually. I'm just hoping the sooner the better, so we can just move on from this colossal failure of a game and hopefully one day get a Mortal Kombat game back representing the true spirit of Mortal Kombat. But right now we've got to deal with the hand that we're dealt, and the hand that we're dealt is that crossplay on PC is not working for a bunch of people. It needs to get sorted out. And it doesn't matter what I've tried, what other people have tried, nothing is working. Figure it out, NetherRealm and QLock and Warner Brothers. Catch you next time.